Maria Taylor. We've got Jonathan Taylor. We're still trying to figure out whether or not we're cousins. Is it a possibility?
Maybe. I have to ask around. I'll ask my mother.
Okay. All right, let's talk about being a baby because, I mean, you are just a freshman. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to call you a baby. When you were growing up, did you have a blanket, passy, binky? What was the thing that you carried around with you?
I kind of just carried around a Power Ranger or a wrestler all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I had a lot of those toys in like my little toy box, so I would carry around one of those.
Which Power Ranger were you?
The blue one.
Okay, obviously.
Always got to be the blue Power Ranger. I don't know why, but he was always like the kind of technical guy, always fixing all the gear for him. So
Okay, if you had a nickname for yourself, what would you choose?
I just have to be the tumbler, I guess.
The Tumbler?
The tumbler. You know, I'm just moving forward. Every time I get a ball, I just want to move forward.
I like that. You tumble forward. I get it. Now, you come from a long way away from Wisconsin. We gotta talk Salem, New Jersey.
Salem, New Jersey.
Does that mean you've seen a witch before? Is that a thing?
No.
Okay.
No, that's something. But Salem, New Jersey is a real small place, like super south of New Jersey. So, no one really knows about it.
No. All I know is the Jersey Shore anyway, so I don't understand. Is that
That's what
anywhere
everyone
near?
says.
Is there anywhere near where you are?
It's like an hour and 45 minutes away from me.
Okay. So growing up, how were you ever connected to Wisconsin? At what point did Wisconsin Badger football come into your sight?
I definitely have to say, once I seen like a newspaper article of Corey Clement, you go in there, you know, that was one of the first times I actually like started looking up and looking at Wisconsin. You know, and I seen Corey Clement. I would always go to his games and see how great he was, and you know, say, oh, what school is he going to? I mean, he's a great player, so I'm like, this school has to be great.
I saw that one of your high school coaches mentioned you wrote an essay in 8th grade, and it mentioned the fact that you would want to be a Wisconsin Badger.
Yeah.
Is that something that was a goal when you were in the 8th grade? Like, you wrote that down?
Kind of wasn't a goal, like I wanted to go there, but you know, where would you like to go? So, you know, that was one of the schools I was like, I would like to go to Wisconsin, you know. I seen Corey Clement go there, so I would like to go there.
So how crazy is it now that you wrote that in 8th grade, and here we are walking down the hallways of Wisconsin football?
It's definitely crazy because you're just writing an essay of schools you like. You know, everyone has schools that they like, and now you're here, and now you're like actually living it. So, you know, it's just a blessing.
Okay, how does a freshman who shows up, your team is undefeated, you're 10-0, and every single game is like one of your best games? How do you stay humble?
You know, you just have to believe in your teammates. You know, they're out here working every day just as hard as you, and you know, you really don't do anything without those guys. You know, this game is an 11-man team game, so you know, it takes every one of us on every single play to do what you have to do. So you just got to make sure that you know that those guys are working hard just as hard as you every single play to help accomplish the same goal.
When you stepped on campus for the first time, I mean, what was your expectation? What did you think your role would be for Wisconsin this year?
My role I expected to be was just to be ready. Whenever my number was called, if my number was called, I just wanted to come in and be ready so that I could help produce for the team.
Talk to me about when you maybe realized that I think I can be a starter, I think I could be first string, and I think I could impact every single game. What moment was that for you?
Definitely when the first depth chart came out and Coach Settle had put 3 running backs on there, and it said Bradrick Shaw or Chris James or Jonathan Taylor. So it definitely showed that he had trust in me, that I could be a potential, you know, starter and potentially like produce a big time for the team. So that was one moment when I was like, okay, I really have to step my game up because Coach Settle would definitely see something in it.
Okay, another moment that was just like, this guy's consistent is when you hit the 1,000-yard mark in your first season. I mean, what do you remember about that day, kind of find out and realizing that you had gotten past that milestone?
I remember one time in high school, you know, I was coming up on Corey Clement's record, and, you know, I wasn't playing so well in that game. And, you know, my high school coach took me aside and said, you know, don't worry about the record, just play your game. And, you know, so going into that game, I was just focused on the task at hand, you know, trying to beat Maryland. And, you know, so that's one thing that I just made sure I did, make sure I focused on the game and getting out the W.